Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today, because I got the injury to the finger, I had to strategically figure out what I was going to do as far as bonsai and house tree work. So I figured I need to pick out two of my white spruce trees. I'd say there's about 300 left to choose from out of the original 500. And they're going to go at the entrance of a new storefront that's opening here in town. So I have two really cool pots. I'll show you those in a little bit. And I would like to get some trees that have some size to them, that also have some bendiness to them still. I've come across some trunks that aren't good for wiring anymore. So, yeah, gotta find some tall, full, attractive trees that I could bend. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so entering where I keep some of my white spruce trees. So what I did is I bordered our veggie and fruit plant beds with white spruce trees, the Picea glauca. It's kind of hard to see. This is a strawberry, blackberry, and raspberry bed, so there's some weeds mixed in, but a ton of strawberry plants. See them already starting to flower. So I believe these are nettles maybe, and they're nice and pointy. So I reserve one day where I actually am in the mood to get stuck a bunch of times by weeds, and I'll pull those out probably this next week because we are going to entertain for Memorial Day weekend. So, and then got the one down here. My garlic's growing nicely there. This thing's been established for about 3 years and it's perennial now. It just keeps coming back. Oof, these trees are thirsty. Look at those weeping. Hey, Carl. And then behind me, these are the ones that were just extra. Ooh, that's a nice one right there. Tall and skinny. I bet I could bend that. Let's do a little test. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So tall and skinny. And then I want one similar. That might work right next to it. But a little shorter and a little thinner because I have two matching pots. But one is huge and one is medium. That's a nice one too. Well, that one's tall, but it takes a while to get going. But maybe if I'm doing a little wrap, that might work. All right, so I'm going to go around the property and we're gonna make a decision. All right, so this has like 50 of my prize trees in it, and they're just a step above. So I really don't want to disturb this area, so I'm not going to look because I'm sure I could find two perfect ones in there, but they are for future. On a positive note, boom and boom. Oh, that oak's thirsty. It's supposed to rain tonight, and so if we don't get tomorrow morning and then all day, so if we don't get that rain, I'll obviously have to water everything. But these white spruce are pretty self-sufficient. After you get them in their sandbags after the first year, they pretty much just deal with the weather and you don't have to water them that much. In the sandbags, they really retain moisture, that's why. Okay, getting sidetracked. So I've got these guys in a nice planting, and I kept them more of a natural forest. I want to do your typical swirly topiary on both of them. So these I already have a few wired up. These are much smaller trees. These are for sale at the farmer's market. So, boom, boom, boom. Got to show you two more spots. So these are the pots. How cool are those? Nice finish on them. Cool design. Someone was getting rid of them and they thanked me for picking them up because they were heavy, and I was like, okay, you saved me a couple $100. All right, so let's make our way out to the last spot. Oh yeah, we got a pop-up trailer. So I figured it'd be fun to have it set up. I got to bring the awning out and a few chairs for when we have a little party for Memorial Day. Be a nice place for the kids to play and hang out and stuff like that. So up here I staged enough trees to fill my trailer to bring to the farmer's market. Nothing special or not special about them, just they were the first ones I grabbed. Well, that's a nice full tall skinny one. Yeah, all right, taking that one for sure. So I got one picked out, the little guy. I just want to show you on my way back down. Was the great plant migration today. So these are Canary Island date palms, 2 of them. One I finally pulled out after hoping it was going to come back after 2 years. I got the Cherimoya out. Pink Bougainvillea from my broski Matt Brennan. The lemon scented gum, eucalyptus style. Let's see. Navel orange from my broski Matt Brennan. Look at those freaking black locusts. Wow. They've been outside. If you missed the pruning, it wasn't that long ago, and they are full. So I've got a Delonix rugia, blue jacaranda, and a blue jacaranda. They came out today. Those Japanese maples are looking lovely. And let's see, last one. Gotta get this thing in a better pot. This is the Strangler Fig Ficus, also from broski Matt Brennan. Figured I might as well show you the setup. So we got Stella's little house over there, a little log cabin, basketball hoop, football net. We got a nice little fire pit, which I probably won't be lighting any fires because, you know, at least not when a lot of people are around. If I have to run and get the hose, I'm going to do that just by myself. Some chilling areas, little water tables in the shade for the kids. That pool blows in the wind, but I'll have that filled up. Stella and her friends to splash around in. Yeah, little slide. Pretty psyched. The apple tree flowered insane this year, so expecting a ton of apples. And apparently it's a terrible year for peaches, so if you're in the Northeast and you like peaches, then you're gonna be paying a lot of money. All right, so it's not gonna be fun watching a one-handed man shovel mulch, but I'm gonna fill a few buckets, get it into the pots, because I'm not moving the pots one-handed, well, maybe the little one. And then we'll get going. All right, so the beauty of the bark mulch is it comes all natural. There's no dyes in it at all. Tree companies drop it off for free, and if you don't get to use it as like a weed barrier, or I will do it around, yeah, exactly like a weed barrier. I do it around the trees. When it's new, it degrades over time, and so once you get up underneath, you know, where it looks like the wood chips, you have this really nice, you know, start of a great soil. So I like to use it in the base, especially with heavy pots. It's a little lighter than regular soil, and it'll continue to degrade and feed and all that. It's nice and light too, keep the soil light. So I'm not going to mess with wiring today because it's difficult enough to do with 2 hands, but I will get these into the pots. Let me get it set up on the tripod and rock and roll. Figure this one, nice, tall, skinny, single trunk, and still bendy. Probably start it out, boom, boom, come back, come out, and just swirl it within the pot and continue that going. I've always wanted it, so why not do it? So I have until June 1st, so I did this on Tuesday, so I figured by next Tuesday everything should be closed up and sealed up, and we can continue on with wire. Right there, and you right here. Boom, I figure one on each side of the door. That'll look pretty cool. So I have this bucket of nice topsoil and really heavy and perlite, probably some sort of peat moss. It feels nice and light. I'm going to make a little bed to place these roots into and see where that takes us. Of course, I didn't bring scissors. Stand by. Alright, so Stella's inside taking a nap, and Millie will, in true Millie fashion, bark, and that's where all the scissors are. So I'm just going to be safe and work away from me. You know I'd be getting yelled at right now by Laura. Boom, boom, boom. Come on. This thing had some dandelions growing in it, and so those roots are kind of clinging on to the bag, which is fine. I don't necessarily want it to come apart like crazy. Wow, these are like so dry. Past week we had 0 rain, and before that it was kind of spoiled with lots of rain. So got to get back into the habit, the daily waterings of the bonsais and the deck, and when necessary get out to the tree farm. Well, I'll be watering the veggies and fruits anyway, so that'll be a lot easier. All right, that looks good. I like the height. It's always good to blindly reach into a thing of soil when there's a knife in it, you know. Come on, Jared. Working my way around. Fill it to about, I don't know, right where the ceramic glaze starts, which is about 1.5 inches down on the lip of the pot. And I'm probably going to finish these off with some either local river pebbles with the multicolors, almost like a pink and tan hue, or I will do white granite or marble chips, whatever looks best. This pot had some old oregano in it, so the most of it doesn't have a root to be found, but some of it has those old little oregano roots, and whatever, in my mind that stuff breaks down and just feeds the rest of the soil over time, so that's why I reuse it. I typically won't reuse the same soil with the same like fruit, vegetable, or tree. I don't know if that matters. Because usually if I'm reusing it, it failed with the other ones, so. All right, cool. That one's done. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get these there. Well, I guess I'll have to put them in the trailer and then cover them so they don't get wind blown. It's only about a 7-minute drive, but about 45 miles an hour, so. Or maybe I'll like garbage bag and tape the top and lay them on their side, and the trunk of the old wagon here. Lay everything down. Fits. Sometimes I swear it fits more than a truck. All right, I used less of the mulch in here because obviously I knew there was going to be a lot more soil. Again, bone dry. I didn't try to get all the soil intact that time, obviously, because in the brick that it was shaped in, it wouldn't have fit in the top of the pot. And I don't just want this soil in there, because they've been in these bags for, this would be the 4th growing season, I believe. Yeah, 4+ years. So we'll freshen it up with some recycled oregano soil, which you could see the difference. I mean, it can't be that much more moist where it's that dark. So, the original soil I used for all the trees was a mixture of peat moss, manure, and straight up organic topsoil. Just got loads dumped into a pile and kept mixing them as they were dumping them. Tried to incorporate it all best I could, then started filling sandbags. It was a process. I had a few people help me, but it was totally worth it now, as I thought it would be then. They grow so slowly, but this year, last year and this year, they're really taking off. It's almost like they double every year, but I got them so small it was hard to even see that. So each year they grow that much more. Yeah, that's sitting nice. So just a little bit more, and then it'll be right around where I want for that top dressing. Cool. Getting on in here. See that rim there? Stops right around there. We'll fill that in nice with some stone. I wish the top one was slightly fuller like the little one, but with the amount of bending I'm gonna have to do, it probably it will shorten it up, say to about here, and so that much more foliage will be down. Yeah. All right, I dig that choice. So I think that's gonna do it, y'all. Give you a little tour of what's going on here, some of the new items to the ranch, and we got a job done. So thanks for joining me for this. Hope you all are enjoying your time this spring, getting your fruits and veggies and trees all going. I've been enjoying it every day. So for my family, yours, cheers.